fine in laning on his own. Shall see. It is a very hard laning stage here for the Doom. So we do have game 1 now officially underway. Both sides already looking for each other with these smokes. Some deep wards being placed here by OG. It's like Ari, of course, will be hunting couriers as well while he's here. It's kind of the Nyx meta right now. Like, you really don't want to sit in the lane, right? It's just everything but sitting in the lane is what you want to do as Nyx Assassin. As soon as you hit level 2.
Just play jungle, just try to snipe couriers if possible. Good wards from Tundra to spot this rotation out from Ojito. Early commitment up top. So no catch-out shenanigans here. They did manage to poke Tomato just a bit, but can't fully commit onto the Weaver either. So it does look like we should end up with a 2-for-2, but with the vision advantage Tundra has, might be able to force something on this top rune.
They are trying. Whisper's still around the area, but Thompson's going to show up. Whisper actually takes the Mandarin away, so it is a 3-for-1 trade, but this might cost him his own life. So they will just stun him up a little bit there with the rebound, and 9 class will go for the body blocks. And Whisper is indeed dead, as Pure will be able to secure first blood. It's a beautiful setup here by 9 class. That is already a fantastic start for Tundra. Probably the best start you could have asked for.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you don't mind trading away the extra bounty rune if you manage to get first blood on your brood. Really important here to start to get that momentum on. Very strong start for Tundra already. Good tone to start off with. Taking a look at the lanes, of course, as they do break out. Looking at mid. Thompson up against BZM. Again, initial levels shouldn't be too rough for BZM. That caustic finale can still cause issues, of course. And the threat of the Stinger does make it nice for Thompson to trade back. But Shield Crash does provide you some durability that most other matchups against the Sand King don't really have. And again, with Swash up, the threat for Thompson to kind of commit with Burst Strike and always get the Stinger follow-up with Caustic is a little bit harder to see up against his Pango. So BZM shouldn't be struggling as much. We'll see how much he can get out of the lane already early on. Feeling good for Thompson. He is going for the 1-0-1. Not even bothering with Sandstorm. Probably 2-0-2 into the 4. So, again, lots of aggressive potential there if any side missteps.
Absolutely. I think Thompson will definitely be looking for some kill attempts here onto BZM. Especially once you hit that, say, level 3 mark, it can get very, very scary. At top lane, you are already seeing Ari go for a very big creep pull away. Not sure why he's wrapping around all... In fact, I know why, because he's getting a double camp, or rather double creep wave. Here you go, just stack them up, get a Mind Flare off as well. The creeps will just continue to follow as he'll take a double. And this is exactly what you wanted to see. His Rams is going to go down bottom lane, so a very nice pickup here for Tomato. But this is exactly what you wanted to see from Ari, is he doesn't get a double wave. He'll just take a single creep wave away. But it seems like that's probably going to be enough for him. As we are looking at bot lane as well. Of course, Tomato did just take down Ramsey, so already a very nice start here for the Weaver. 9 class now trying to get a little bit more aggressive onto Tomato, but of course, as the Weaver, he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, top lane, more creep pulling shenanigans happening. Whitemon does at least manage to pull the range creep away to the large camp, so he will deny that off. But this is exactly what Ari needs to do to ensure Whisper actually has a laning stage.
Be as disruptive as possible. Try to cut off those waves. Isn't going to be able to snipe couriers anytime soon. You are up against Marcy. And we were talking about this up when you had Monkey King. It is somewhat of a solution. So courier sniping for Ari not going to be lined up. But again, he's getting his work in. He's making this lane fairly playable for the Doom, although still lagging behind a bit in CS, but there is EXP to be found at the very least. Pure, not dissuaded whatsoever, still having that good farm. Again, the last lane down bot, Tomato and Seb on the Weaver Phoenix have been doing a great job in holding back against Ramses, and 9 class does have the 1-1 axis plus the boar here for Ramses. There are rebound plates. It's just pinning down someone like the Weaver can be a bit tough.
BZM's just popping so much damage in that mid lane at the moment. Bottom lane, Ramses is barely going to be alright. Both bot and middle lane are getting increasingly harder here. But looking at Thompson as the middle lane, just so much damage being dealt towards BZM every single time he has that Burrow Strike off cooldown. It's very, very hard to lane against this when you're in that melee kind of range here against the Sand King. But props to BZM, he has found more CS than Thompson. So even though the lane has been pretty hard in terms of harassment, he has been still sustaining himself in terms of the CS department. Not too much struggle here for the Pango quite yet. bottom lane. 9 class dropping very low here now to Seb. 9 class looks like he's going to be okay. Tomato maybe thinking about a Sakuchi past the tier 1 tower, but decides better of it. Meanwhile, Thompson does end up killing off BZM. Pure in the meantime, top lane ends up going down though. That's a pretty big one. They found the Broodmother.
Yeah, this Broodmother does need a fast start. We have seen Broods fall behind. It can't just camp a lane. Doesn't get that pressure out. This is your POS 1 as well, so you want some fast scaling coming in here for Tundra. Good moves out from the side of OG. Just this aggression out from Whisper with level 2 Scorched Earth and having the Hurl Boulder for a little bit of control there. And they're pretty much finding everything they'd want up top. In fact, I'd say OG's laning has felt a lot better, even in mid, despite that. That is able to find 9 class one more time here for Seb. The bot lane's the big surprise for me. Tundra, again, there's some aggressive potential. It's hard to catch out Weaver Phoenix, but to get run down to this extent, it's not an amazing start for Ramses. He does have his Ancient camp to stack up. No blocks whatsoever in the right side Ancient or in the triangle. So there is recovery farm for the Beastmaster. It's just this kind of start for Tomato is pretty scary.
Oh, Ramsey's trying to go for the axes out, but he could be in a bit of danger now. Looks like he is going to be able to survive. Seb and Tomato, they're doing such a great job of just forcing them back every single time. Every time Ramses get close for a wild axis to be thrown out, you see Tomato rushing with a Sakuchi to try and get some damage off onto the Beastmaster. It's a very challenging laning stage already here for Tundra down in this off lane. Mid lane in the meantime, Thompson diving again, but Ari is going to TP in to help out. It does secure the life of Thompson. You still lose BCM to the Caustic plus the damage of Whitemon, but at the very least they find Thompson first.
It's a nice little pickup. Does help boost, especially into that level 6 mark recovery for BCM. You still have that level advantage up for Thompson. You are finding relief for your side lanes. You don't need to worry too much about the Chikira trying to play wild with that Broodmother. Again, freeing up Whisper for his farm into this Blink Rush. Has been pretty much uncontested. Getting a little bit slower in CS, but you always have Devour to play with as a Doom. So you're not struggling as much as that would imply. OG, their laning start, feeling pretty good. The CS is there in Tundra, but these kills, this early momentum in Ramses again.
Trouble bottom lane. Seb dropping low himself, but actually ends up barely surviving as Ramses is the one forced to run away, but BZM still on the chase here on the Pangalee with a Rolling Thunder trying to go all the way past the tier 2 towers, but decides better off. And Ramses just running a little bit too fast. Will be okay. But OG letting them know this is not going to be an easy time. So even Tomato now maybe thinking about trying to go for a Wisdom Rune snipe, but decides better of it. There are 3 heroes here from Tundra. Oh my, I mean this offlane in particular has been very, very challenging for Tundra. Are there even stacks being made yet? There has been. They have made a couple stacks in the ancient camp on the far right.
Yeah, Ramses has been on point in that since, I think since he was level 3 or so, seeing how rough the lane is, just going back, axing it up. They're keeping it well protected as well with a preemptive sentry and the obs up now. So they know Ramses is going to need that flash farm coming in. A rougher start for the Beastmaster. Again, the laning start for OG, even though you're top on Thompson and Pure in terms of CS, it does feel like the early aggression has been lining up, so they are going on to Thompson.
Mid lane. Thompson, he's going to have the help of Whitemon coming in as the epicenter does get channeled up, but Whitemon never threw out the ice path. Tundra trying to force Thompson out of there. Seb going to be trying to get some damage off, but cannot finish the job. Is now Seb in trouble. Seb goes down. Whisper also dying top lane in the meantime, so you've lost your offlane Doom on top of all this is... I mean, Thompson, he's just perfectly fine on the mid Sand King. Sadly, just no damage to finish off the kill. And it seems like Tundra, they might even go for a chase onto Ari, though I don't believe they have the spells to kill Ari here, so he should be just fine.
He should be. This kind of sequence of events for OG kind of boils back to BZM trying to get that roll onto Ramses. So the roll it's on cooldown isn't able to really commit that to try to clean up Thompson with that early level 6 coming out from Ari. And they just kind of miss out on the opportunity in the 1v1 lane as well with a level advantage for Pure. Does manage to get that rundown opportunity on the Doom. And this is where that Feeding Frenzy facet can play in. You can sustain your Spiderlings much more in terms of having them in the front line.
BZM, he does pick up an Arcane Rune, which means he wants to try and go after the Master Kill, but well, you got rebound in 1 second for 9 class and he barely gets it off in time. VZM still thinking about going for the dive in past the tier 1 tower. Does see 9 class on the Marcy and does try to secure the kill and does get it. So VCM, can you find a way out now? Oh, the answers look like it might be no. He's still okay with the shield crash shield. Whitemon can't see him either. Topson the one in trouble. VZM, he'll find Whitemon. He'll make it out. Meanwhile, Pure goes down. Top lane, they'll find the Broodmother once again. And it's just Whisper. Whisper and Seb, to be fair, but this top lane, it gets even worse now for Tundra.
And it is. They left the Broodmother for a long time. Whisper finally gets the Doom off, and for the Brood, not having access to Insatiable does take away the bite of the Spider. Already getting some rotations out for Tundra, maybe looking to punish Whisper here.
Yeah, Topson's here. The caustic finale damage, my god. It's a bit too much. So here comes Ari, here comes BZM, and there goes Topson. Topson's gone already. It happens that quickly when you've got the Nyx Assassin around. Whitemon now being dived on the Jakiro. The egg will be committed, and Whitemon, he can do nothing about it but watch as he will slowly burn away. And Pure, he just TP'd back to the lane. Oh, OG. This is the aggression you love to see from this squad. Is they'll force Pure to have the walk of shame back.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
It's, again, very important for the side of Tundra to have the strong start on Pure. He still is top of net worth, but not by a huge margin. BZM, Tomato are keeping up, and even Ari starting to nip at the heels of Ramses in terms of farm build-up here. This Nyx just allowed to play its greedy game. No punishment whatsoever coming out. Whitemon can't really do as much as you'd want on this Jakiro to slow down just the greed of the offlane of OG with Whisper and Ari on Doom, plus the Nyx. And they were allowed to play their game. They hit these spikes. 3k lead up for OG off these early exchanges. Most of that really down to maybe Ari and how much farm this Nyx has. Core to core, you are still even.
They missed the impel on Topson, so Ari couldn't quite lock Topson down. Seb was just charging the Sunray as well, as we are looking at a Cobalt apparently for a moment. I mean, OG, 4k advantage here, John, in this game. Well, this is a fantastic start if I've ever seen one. As Ari does get caught in the Nyx, will get taken down. Not too bad of a kill here for Tundra. But again, a very strong start so far for this Radiant side.
And it is, again, mostly stemming down to how much farm Ari and to an extent even Seb has. The core-to-core matchups aren't too bad for Tundra.
Oh,
so it's really just down to how active they've been.
Almost going down. Tomato's going to go for the dive in. He wants the kill and he does get it. Time lapse away, Tomato. Indeed, he will use it. And Topson, he would not land the burrow either. Oh, and BZM, he's coming in for more. Do they want to commit? BZM, he'll get roared up, but Whispers around the corner. They'll commit the Doom right onto Topson. Even the egg committed just to ensure they will not try to fight back. At least Topson, he will survive. He will make it back towards the fountain, but that mid-tier 1 tower will not. His 9 class trying to dive in and find some kind of stun, but gets nothing. OG, I mean, just fighting everything off the map thus far.
That they are. I love this read on OG, leveraging just how much they've gotten out of these supports. Really running it down early, preventing any breathing room for Tundra to get that recovery. They still need to finish this Ags up on Ramses. They need quite a fair bit more gold on Pure. Once the Orchid is up, maybe you get some more forward play here from Broodmother. Blink Dagger for Topson, still 400 gold away as well. So it's taking some time for these spikes to kick in. Heck, the level 6 has just come up for 9 class. He just hits this Unleash. So now perhaps the Mercy can be a little bit more of a threat up front. But again, OG 4k lead. The supports have done a fantastic job on OG. Ari's just been a monster on this Nyx.
Oh, Ramses. Oh. Look at this, there's no sentries either. They have no idea. Don't do it. Don't go back, Ramses. Oh! Oh, there's no chance. What can you do? There's just no chance. It's that thing where when a Nyx Assassin has a good game, it just becomes impossible to try and go against it. He's almost got that Dagon too, so it's going to be some very good timing here for Ari.
Yeah, can just further out that burst play that he's already getting done. No durability just yet on Tundra. Lots of squishy targets as well.
They are at least going to find Seb. Seb trying to sneak in, maybe for some deep vision by that Dire Tormentor, will not be able to get away with it. They will take him out immediately. But that is just your position 5 Phoenix, not too big of a deal. OG won't mind seeing that too much. Tundra, on the other hand, seeing that kill, they will smoke up immediately, even finding themselves a Weaver now. Can they burst him down? They can. Tomato is gone. That's a big one.
I would say even Seb kill is pretty big. Look at the net worth you get from killing that Phoenix. 331 plus 268. Ramses was just worth 329 plus 132. Again, these supports are hyper-farmed on OG. Every kill on these softer targets is actually noticeable for Tundra and evening out this game. Network-wise, for cores, you're not pulling ahead on your carries, your cores for OG.
Look at this Nyx, John. He's on the hunt again. There are sentries around the mid lane though, so it could be a little bit hard for Ari to close the gap. In fact, both sides of the mid lane have sentries just in case. But you have a very fair point there. The supports of OG are certainly worth a lot more gold than I would have first anticipated. They are thinking about infiltrating the Dire Triangle, but they decide better on. But there's your Dagon now up. So Ari has solo kill potential if he so wishes. Smoke up from Tundra, but it could be some very awkward timing for themselves. They do have the Ags on Rams at the very least. Seb will kind of bait them in. Whisper, he'll jump in for a Doom on the Beastmaster, but he's already lost Seb, and now he's lost Stone Life. They weren't expecting the smoke right behind Pure. So 2 heroes going down for OG, and now Tundra, they can start to apply pressure onto that mid-tier 1 tower. And OG, they would not be around to defend.
Yeah, they have no option to. They've got Egg on respawn, but tower falls way too quick. No Doom option as well for the follow-up fight. They're going to have to try to sit back and build up once more. Tundra bouncing back in strong form. That equalizes the net worth advantage OG has had. And the core starting to pull ahead. Pure pretty much uncontested outside of the couple of laning deaths he has had. Full Orchid can start to play. Ari's on the chase.
Don't you love when the Nyx Assassin can keep up with the Broodmother? How great is that, John? No inequality when it comes to the bugs. Right class, still going to jump in though, does find a nice rebound onto that Nyx Assassin, so Ari is gone. Here comes Thompson, right onto Seb, but they might need to back out of here, Tundra. This stun drop a little bit low, the egg is down from Seb, there's nobody focusing on either. Nine Class trying to move in, but it's not good enough.
Oh.
He was 1 hit away. Meanwhile, Thompson trying to run, but Whispers on the chase with the chain lightning creep. Thompson just about to drop. The swash will not connect though. He'll survive. He'll jump back in. Thompson with the burrow strike, but he will go down a Whisper. Pure still trying to get out of there. Will be okay for now though. Ramses does jump back in for Aurora to BZM. They'll take down the Pango. But it's a 3-for-2 trade in the favor of OG. I think OG, they'll still be very happy with that fight.
They should be. Do manage to pin down the supports plus Thompson. A little bit late in the response here from Ramses. If he was around earlier with Aurora, perhaps a different result would come out for the side of Tundra. A little bit fragmented out. The response onto the egg. Really good position out from Seb. The chain stuns on hand. The positioning from BZM to cut off, protect that egg. Massive deal as well as he still had Unleash up on 9 class. Just all the emphasis to save that. Gives them the additional kills they'd want. Side of Tundra, again, it does feel like the response is a little bit lacking. They aren't fully set in terms of these farm timings just yet. They are going to need a little bit more. Maybe once Ramses has Blink BKB, even just the Blink, perhaps this becomes a little bit comfier for him to respond into in comparison to that last engage.
I don't think... Oh, he might. Never mind. He's got enough. He's got his team, but here comes Thompson with a 3-man burrow and a 2-man rebound from 9 class. You've already lost Ari. You've lost Whisper. And Tundra, they'd love a little bit more, but everyone else has left the building. A 2-for-1 in the favor of Tundra this time around, and the smiley face from Ramses, letting them know about it. You got my life, but it cost you double.
That it does. You know, again, there was some all chat there about Batrider Midas mid. I'm not sure which account that was. It might have been Ramses, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, that was Seb laying it on, laying the law in the lobby. They are targeting Ramses well, but hey, the coordination now from Tundra to accomplish this chain stun, maximizing their macro fire, great rebounds, starting to line up Again, the net worth V supports, it's still nothing to be scoffed at. Ari was worth 302
Thompson.
plus 420.
Nice burrow strike from Thompson. Ramses, he's in as well with the raw out onto BZM, so BZM just dropping so down low already. He'll be able to swashbuckle, but not for long. He is down a pure. Seb now getting tipped by 9 class. Well, poor old Seb getting in the middle of all this as well, apparently. Tundra really starting to warm up now. 2k advantage their way. And OG kind of dropping the ball here, John. They had a 4k net worth advantage, but that is all gone.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying for OG. Again, the core's never had a net worth advantage. You've always had parity even with Ramses off of the slower lane. He has managed to keep up with farm. You aren't really pulling ahead on Tomato just yet. He is going back for the Deso. There's going to be some forward presence there. No Maelstrom late near pickup, which maybe feels like can kind of tie in for a little bit more control. Roche melting to Tundra at the moment with all of their damage output present. They've got the fresh BKB up on Pure. So he's certainly feeling very comfy now to take every engagement that presents itself here. Ramses has his blink. BKB only 2 parts off. Things are starting to line up. The triple BKB timing for Tundra is still a ways off from their 2 other cores, but once you have that protection, there's really nothing to be scared of outside of Doom here. You track Ramses, but not going to be pinned down any longer with a blink and making great use across the map for that space. Whereas, again, for OG, you're lagging behind in terms of the farm for BZM and Whisper. The Doom kind of suffering in farm is not the best of signs, especially with the double Devour anyhow. You're not really building that net worth advantage. You are keeping up at least in a slower game. It becomes hard as well for Whisper. We're seeing him blink in, commit Doom onto Ramses. It feels like if you don't Doom up Pure, he is just free to run around with all of this regen for himself and his Spiderlings with the insatiable hunger. Like, you cannot underestimate how tanky these Spiderlings suddenly feel like when they have insatiable hunger on them.
BZM caught out again. BZM just annihilated here as they are taking no risks. Throwing everything but the kitchen sink to ensure the Pangolier does just die. And OG again on the back foot, sitting back and relaxing for now. Tundra still hunting them down. OG, they'll remain grouped up by their own bottom tier 1 tower. I mean, there is strength in numbers. They are up against the Aegis as well of Tundra, so they really don't want to force any kind of fights. Make matters worse, now BKB is coming out on Thompson, so now you've got that magic debuff immunity for the Sand King. And well, OG, they are still slowly pushing through the bottom lane, so perhaps they do want to try and force something. Whisper trying to bait the side of Tundra forward.
Jeez.
Excuse me, rather Tomato is. A lot of cold heat for Tomato.
Yeah, that shard is a very strong answer for the Broodmother, especially with Deso up and Tomato. Just melts through the Brewlings, or the Spiderlings at the very least, so that is quite a fair bit caught up for Tomato. Tormentor, no contest here for Tundra. Free shard for Whitemon. This provides a little bit more with the Liquid Frost as well. Some scaling damage on hand for Origakiro. Always nice to see. They are pinging out Ramses once again. BKB is still lacking the recipe, so he's a fairly easy target.
We're just going to pop the roar immediately. I mean, there are TPs incoming, but they are going to be all too late, I think, because Ramses, he will lose his first life. Here comes the rest of Tundra, though. Thompson, he's onto Ari already. Egg drop by Sep. Is it going to be able to get off in time? It does. Ramses and 9 class both going down. Meanwhile, Ari, he does drop at Thompson. He gets doomed up now. He can't do much to help out. Pure's going to rush in anyway. He'll try to go for the man fight on his own, but can he do it? It's 1v5 Pure. He'll get out of there. The smiley face from Sep. Pure. He's trying to get out. Whisper with the shivers, trying to scout him out, but they cannot. Pure is still fine. The Tomato, he's a fast bug. He's like an Australian cockroach, John, this Tomato Weaver. Not fast enough, though.
Not quite fast enough. They do manage to get good punishment. Very fragmented response once again from Tundra. Ramses forced to roar up early. Aegis popped in position where they couldn't really TP in. Outpost TPs were a little bit too slow to really kind of try to maximize. You waste your BKB charges as well on Tundra. 8-second charge up now for Pure. And Thompson down as well to 8 seconds. Not aligning with Ramses' own timing. Again, where they shine on OG is still this pickoff game. They managed to fragment Tundra, force out these staggered spell uses, managed to save Doom for someone else besides Ramses. does feel a lot better for the side of OG, and that's exactly what they did here. Pure comes in, pops BKB just to kill off Seb, leading to the Smiley, as that is a pretty big commitment just for a Phoenix pickup.
Another 5-man smoke. There's no egg up this time for Seb, but they're still trying to force a fight here, OG. Thompson in position to try and jump Tomato, who is currently just farming the mid creep wave. His team is right behind him though, so Tomato just trying to bait. Tundra not taking said bait yet. In fact, OG, they do retreat. They'll go into that Dire jungle instead. Tundra will remain on the Radiant jungle. They'll just completely avoid the fight. It is a very back and forth game one here between these two sides. Less than 1k net worth lead here for Tundra. Now bottom lane, Tundra starting to set up, trying to look for Seb. Seb will be okay to Icarus dive away, but it seems though Tundra, they'll get started on the bottom tier 2 tower, and with Pure around with all these spiderlings, it is not going to take very long. And this is why you love to see that feeding frenzy facet of the Brood. It is just absolutely ridiculous how much damage you hand over to these spiderlings.
Yeah, with all the spiderlings you have, that was like 13 damage apiece, plus 13, so 33 damage spiderlings in such a big group. Doesn't take too long to find the objectives. 21 to 20 OG, still in a decent spot. They've got their ults back up. So the smoke earlier was a bit too preemptive, but if they do want to force a fight now, they've got Doom up, they've got Rolling Thunder back up, Eggs ready to go on Seb. They've got BKB up on Tomato to feel secure on that Weaver. Can be a little bit awkward now for the side of Tundra unless they find a pick off first, someone out of position. OG aren't giving any opportunities up. Are still working the map well enough. For Tundra, again, they've got the BKB up on Ramses now, going into his own Shivas. You've got the full Bloodtorn set for Pure, so a lot more output to play with on the Broodmother. Already has the SNY as well. Yeah, there's still a lot of room to grow on these sides. I'd say the big ace for OG is definitely this Doom. If Whisper lands it on the right target in these fights, it can change the name of these engagements.
Class barely going to be able to rebound away. Tundra, they are going to group up again. They're looking at Tomato. Rory's out. They've already got the Weaver. In comes Whisper, but the silence immediately out from Pure. Not going to allow the Doom to be committed here by Whisper as the egg is down from Seb, but it's immediately bursted. OG falling apart here in this team fight. They'll lose Ari on top. Whisper's brought back, but it's all too late. The fight's over. Or is it? BZM thinking about a Rolling Thunder. Tomato thinking about going back in. Tundra, they're still hanging about. Thompson's ready with the Blink Burrow Strike if necessary, but... Well, Tomato, I don't know if you can show... They will not. They will retreat.
It's that fragmentation again. Quick response to stop the Doom cast out from Pure. That Orchid literally saving that fight for the side of Tundra. And the follow-through from OG just not quite there. BZM not able to really commit the role. Tomato playing on edge with the time-lapse. Does at least manage to escape with his life. But without that initial control, without the setup for the egg, without dooming up at least one of these major targets from OG, Tundra, and they have a lot of leeway, and they still haven't hit their own spikes in their supports. Like we've been talking a lot about Ari and Seb having all of this initial farm and EXP. 9 class is about to hit the BKB timing. Mind you, it's still 1.3k away, but once that BKB on the Marcy's up, that's basically one more set of right-clicks that can fully focus the egg that you might have to, probably not the Doom target, but certainly feels like it could be a threat as farm goes up for 9 class as well. I don't think this game simplifies for OG. Their scaling on the Weaver is a lot stronger, but everything else, I think the side of Tundra can keep up with quite nicely here.
Mid lane Ari. Just scattered out for a second. Be alright. Does get away without getting caught. Whisper gonna reveal himself mid lane, just trying to use that chain lightning to get rid of the creep wave while he can. Mid tier 2 tower now is going to be under siege. OG, their choice whether they want to try and defend this, but the answer looks like it's probably going to be no. The thing is, Pure takes the towers so quick with this insatiable hunger plus their feeding frenzy facet. Like you've got no time to think about it. So either you defend or you don't. There's no two ways about it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just have to get that snappy response, and only one outer tower left here for the side of OG. Tundra still hanging on to mid and bot tier 2s. Roshan, respawning in a few seconds. You are in the right position for OG up top. They could try to secure Roche sneakily if they want. They are under vision here from the side of Tundra. Cliff wards on top jungle does give information that they have been hanging about here. Smoke flank from OG. Again, if they get a good Doom here.
Aria, they see Pure, but the jump is there onto the Weaver already, and he is gone. Tomato is down. BZM will rush forward with the Rolling Thunder, but it's going to do no good. The BKBs were out. Whisper will die. That's a dieback on the turn. And a horrible start here for the side of OG. To make matters worse, Roshan, it just respawned.
Yeah, and again for OG, the decisions they have to make in these fights. Whisper jumps in, does manage to get the Doom off, but Pure already popped Insatiable Hunger plus the BKB. Sure, he's not life-stealing, but he still has the bonus damage. He can move in and out of these engagements. They managed to snipe Seb after tipping him earlier as well. They've got access to Roshan. And for OG, it feels like they have to play off of Whisper. They can't rely on Ahri any longer. Maybe Ahri plus Whisper. Certainly not BZM unless they can get that chain control onto Pure before he can pop his spells on. Or Ramses. There's just so many things you have to be worried about. The Roar is going to ruin you in the middle. The Sand King is a massive nuisance with a Stinger spam, with Caustic, with Burrow Strikes. And there's a lot for Whisper to have to watch out for. It almost feels like you kind of want a refresh or an Ags up on this Doom for these big 5v5s. Or, again, just look for the pickoffs. Because when it comes to these wider engagements, with the way Tundra is playing, with all the utility they have spread across all their heroes, and all the damage they have across all of these cores, doesn't feel like there's any easy target to start these fights on.
Would have the tier 2 top tower just getting destroyed here by Pure. Took him all about 2 seconds to get that done. So now going to see a smoke now committed here by Tundra. Oh, Ari almost getting caught out with the force up will allow him to get away, but they've already caught the Weaver again. Tomato is gone. BZM trying to get his way out with the Rolling Thunder. Looks like he will be okay, but Tomato continues to get caught on this Weaver. And if you really wanted to as Tundra, you could think about just going high ground. But they are playing it a little bit slower.
Play it safe. Maybe a slight reset, having popped at least a Roar. You need some time for that to come back up, but not that much time. Again, Pure can get this done relatively easy. The Spider Army doesn't take that long at all. This feeding frenzy is just kind of nutty. Look at that tier 2 just go. Just gone.
That's
just like that.
Insatiable Hunger. He hasn't even popped it yet. There you go.
Here we go.
Now the Rex
Jeez.
just disappears. No problems here for Pure. What a balanced hero. We got rid of Necromonicons for this, John. How great's that?
Yeah.
This Necromonicons
Awesome.
were this bad.
Yeah.
Start out. Who have they got? It's going to be the Knicks. Ari is gone.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Buyback is out. Ari's going to rejoin. Whisper in the meantime. He got a Doom out onto Ramses already, but Ramses has no Roar anyway. He's got no spots to throw out. Whisper's already down. They've already got the Weaver. Tomato's gone on top. This is an absolute disastrous fight. They're still trying here on OG, but it's already over. BZM trying to get up, but the Roar is done from Ramses. Seb the only one left. Your Icarus Diver around, trying to buy a bit of time, and Seb is set to fall. So he will wave his friends goodbye. An ultra kill for Pure, and GG is called. Tundra.
Thompson.
Once they get on top of you, John, they just take over. What did Thompson say?
No, he was just pinging all the damage Seb did. Easy, says Seb as they close out there. 1,998 damage from the Phoenix, Thompson says over and over and over.
For their lives in this best of 3 series, Tundra 1 game away from proceeding through to the upper bracket semi-finals of the Riyadh Masters, which I believe if you win this series, you do confirm yourself at least 200k in prize pool winnings, at minimum. That is very, very nice.
And it is, of course, that all-important club championship for each of your clubs. Do you want to start getting some points in there from Dota 2, if possible? Get that higher placement. Heck, take it all to have a chance of securing your club that first position, which Falcons is heavily, well, heavily cemented in right now. And who knows, again, Falcons, I mean, they've been looking good in Dota 2 as well. So it feels like this could be Falcons' run in Riyadh Masters and the Esports World Cup Club Championship as well.
Very nice.
World Club.
English is hard, don't worry, John, it's okay.
club championship. It's the club.
Top lane.
Gobed.
The battle begins.
They're gonna find Banneroon's top lane. That's why we pay you the big dollars, John. You know, just the amazing analysis you provide us on a day-to-day basis. Pure copying a bit of damage on his way out, gonna be just fine on the Broodmother. Looks like Whisper's gonna go for the body blocks and the creep wave, of course. Try to set it up so his wave does push into his own tier 1 tower. And Pure was trying to do the exact same thing, but Ari is going to ensure he cannot. So very nice from the Monkey King. It's going to allow Pure to have the first creep wave, but the secondary and third creep wave is going to start pushing towards the T1 tower of OG. And that is exactly what Whisper wants.
Yeah. Just start to soak up, get some EXP. Ari not going too crazy and trying to snipe out couriers very early on, unlike what we've seen in Southeast Asia. But I'm sure eventually down the line he'll have the room to just work the map. Good cut from Whitemon though, just making it annoying for Ari. Now he's built.
He won't do it though, he'll leave him. I mean, in fairness, Ari with this low HP, he can't really do much, can he? Like, this is the kind of the thing with the Pos4 Monkey King with this facet. As he still finds a courier somehow. So there's that, he still gets the courier anyway. I was about to say he should be somewhat useless now.
Damn Charity will trade.
A very nice trade here for OG. Like, you take down Whisper first, but I mean, killing off the Brood's always going to feel very good.
That it is. I'd say the EXP gained by Pure is maybe a little bit better. So you're still happy overall. One unfortunate thing is the courier hasn't respawned yet, so you still don't get your item from the base. Pure?
Oh, Pure, he just TP'd back. We saw this earlier in game 1, the walk of shame for the Broodmother, and it looks like it might be happening again. As Pure, one hit away. Ari's going to jump in for it, but he can't quite get there. Pure's going to survive just barely, but OG really starting to apply the pressure here down to this bottom lane. But we probably should have a look at the other lanes while we have a chance here, John. Top lane, we are currently seeing Seb chasing down 9-class, who's going for a creep pool. Ramses will be around to help out, but Seb is making life very hard. He does even throw out the blood grenade here onto 9-class. Ramses will slow him down with the God's Rebuke. The Nyx Assassin eventually will be able to walk away. But this creep pool is going to be at a heavy cost. Seb hands the tip over to 9-class.
That he does. He's been making this game hellish for 9-class on the Nyx. He's not able to scale up as fast as Ari. The lane is a lot more contested for Ramses in comparison to what we're seeing from Whisper last game with the Nyx. So they've done a great job overall on OG to just slow that down to get the good block as well on the camp. So there's no easy creep for 9-class to constantly snipe away. It's just a slower game for the Nyx. They've got good solutions for that scale, that early laning pressure. I am concerned about the mid lane matchup though. Thompson's just running away with it. 7-3 for BZM, 17-9 for Thompson. Again, this is somewhat to be expected, but to this extent for Thompson, it's a little bit worrying. BZM, it does feel like all of that tempo is going to come out from him. You get some good snipes again out from Ari. Is still in a good position on that monkey. I feel like they've given him a little bit too much in free couriers. He's getting a lot of value on that Monkey King now, but I know, like, he's not able to rotate onto mid. He doesn't have the levels. Thompson's still dominating the mid lane. You're still getting farm out for Pure. Although, they'll rotate now.
They're going to try on Thompson. Downless strike is out. And Thompson is set to fall, though. An uphill miss makes it a little bit awkward. It's Thompson. At least hands the kill over to Ari. Almost looked like he was about to get away, but not quite. So VZM, even if he misses out on that kill, he'll still be very happy seeing that Thompson is no longer laning against him. And the TA was indeed struggling quite a bit when it came to the Snapfire matchup, so it was a very important rotation for Ari to make.
Yeah, that's something that they needed. Needed that relief on mid. Needs to give BZM some room to breathe. Again, you've been getting a lot of workout from Ari.
Yeah, bottom lane, they are just diving the tier 1 tower here, and Whitemon just cannot sustain himself. Swister with that level 2 Cinderbrew plus the level 2 Thunderclap is a bit too much in the damage department. suppose as long as Pure's farming, they'll probably still be happy, but OG certainly still trying to really abuse the bottom lane of Tundra.
That they are. They're getting a strong start out for Whisper with a slight level advantage. Already has the Urn, so he can keep that aggressive tempo up if you're not too careful here on the side of Tundra. I think the big hurting point for Tundra as well, it's just, again, top lane hasn't felt the best for Ramses. It has been relatively free farm for Tomato. And 9 Class is just not able to soak up as much on this Weaver in comparison to what we were seeing from Ari. Again, Seb has done a great job of just blocking both camps, of contesting every pull. It's just making it hellish up top. Pure again.
Yeah, bottom lane chases on. Pure this time does have help incoming. Whitemon and 9 Class going to make it impossible to kill off the Brood, as now Whisper also being chased down. Pure being salved up, does not give a crap about Whisper, as he will be able to secure the life of the Brewmaster. That was a very nice rotation up from 9 Class to ensure the dive does not work out that time around. 9 Class, it doesn't have to just stay in the jungle and mind flare creeps, Jonathan. He can also jump in for these kind of rotations as Thompson. Mid lane was throwing some kisses out onto BZM, but could not quite find the kill.
No. Has the level 3 refraction. It managed to little shredder it down before the kisses.
Seb.
And they do isolate Seb here.
Seb's got Ari around the corner. Down the strike is going to be out, and that's going to be enough to allow the space for Seb to walk out of it.
A little bit more back and forth in the early portion of this game. Tundra and OG finding some blows to trade with each other. 3-3 so far. Slight net worth lead coming out for Tundra. You're getting a lot more out of Pure, and that is concerning. This Broodmother can just flash farm quickly once those spawn spiderlings are up. And we're not too far off from that spike now for Pure in comparison for Tomato. I mean, it's still the laning starts. He has Phantasm. He can always clear out his own jungle later on, of course. The CK illusion's highly effective at that. Heck, some micro out as well to probably deny off a Wisdom Rune, but 9 Class is already on top, so they will find 1-1. I think the key thing for OG now is, again, they've got this even core start. You don't have that overwhelming start on your supports, but again, you've done a great job of slowing down Ramses.
Bigs around onto the Broodmother. 9 Class going to be around to help out with an Impale, but it can only help so much as Pure gets bounced around here by Seb. And will go down. They're looking for a little bit more here. Seb having a look at Whitemon. It's like Whitemon is going to get caught out here by Whisper and Ari. And even Tomato joining in just in case they needed it. Though Ari will be the one to secure the kill, but OG once again just starting with that hyper-aggressive style of play. And so far it is panning out.
And that it is. Get some good activity down bot, slowing down Pure, getting some activity for Tomato on top of it all. Not quite enough to fully commit onto the tier 1 just yet.
Boundless does land. Thompson, he's got some help incoming, but Ari's diving right in. But then he just bounces back out. The tree breaks anyway. Alright, Ari's fine though. Well, how's that work, Valve? Did the tree break or not? Ari? Apparently he agrees, John. He wants to donate his life back to the way of Tundra. Thompson, in trouble, is going to go down. Whitemon's to drop as well. OG punishing heavily here in the mid lane as they'll hand the tips over to 9 Class. Meanwhile, Ramsey's being chased down to boot, boundless to land from a mile away. Can they get him underneath the tier 2 tower? It looks like they can. Seb catching him out with the cogs. Tomato to secure another. And I'll tell you what, 9 Class is copying a lot of tips here in this game too, John. I can almost feel Fishman smiling somewhere in Riyadh.
Yeah, sure. He's certainly enjoying this show. Whisper
will be taken down as well, though. Pure does get him, but 9 Class will drop.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. He was diving fairly deep with the last few seconds of the Primal Split. Good punishment out from Pure. But OG starting to pull ahead on all of their other cores. You have slowed them down severely on Thompson and Ramses. Not even the phase boots up yet for Ramses. No blink to set up for the kisses either. And the side of OG, again, working this hyper-aggression very well. They're still keeping track of Thompson here.
Yeah, they really want to shut this man down. Thompson copping a melt strike. BZM continuing. They've got help around the corner though. Down the strike. It will land. It won't do enough though. Ari now going to have to just kind of sustain himself in this Wukong's commander. Seb's going to move into boot. Catching out Wyman with the cogs. There's Urina down. Ramsey's just trying to get away. Pure Reap going to join in. Complete chaos in the mid lane. Whisper dropping
BZM?
low. There goes BZM to boot. OG have gone too far. It's Pure will hand over the tips to Whisper. Whisper handing them back. Oh boy, OG. Maybe going a little bit too far that time, John. I think that fight may have cost them the momentum they had just achieved.
Almost reminds me of game one. You know, early tempo set by OG and a much wider advantage, to be fair. But they get overconfident. You didn't have the split ready on Whisper. They were banking on just this Wukong's from your support monkey to zone them out. Nothing to really keep them held in that position. Seb not there with the cogs. Not able to really gap close yet without the hook shot either. And Tundra, they do even out the game. Very big trade, slowing down BZM. Great arena out from Ramses. Great spear to just lock in Whisper. And the kisses from Thompson. And they were chasing for this guy initially. Just enough gaps, enough gap space creation to give that distance out. You're still not done though.
You are not. Mid lane. Pure trying to fight here with Seb. Does find the clockwork. Is now a double impale out from line class, catching Ari and both BZM. The Pure forced TP away as he's dropping quite low on the Broodmother, but he does get out. He is perfectly fine. As they will continue to chase. They do find Thompson. That's still a pretty big pickoff if they can secure, but Nine Class is around the corner with an impale landing on 3 targets. But Thompson, he's still in the middle of nowhere. Can he get away? No, he cannot. Thompson's gone.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Whitemon tried to tornado him down. He got stuck right by the staircase near that torch. That torch blocked him. It looked so awkward.
How did the torch block him? How does that work?
I know. It looked like he was trying to walk downwards, but he was just stuck in that area. I have no idea what that decision was.
The 9 Class now caught out here by Whisper. Seb having a very good time seeing 9 Class is about to die. There goes your Nyx Assassin. Tips out for Whisper.
Yeah. Nice punishment onto this pesky bug. Not going to be able to really find more there.
Seb gonna die now. Ramses though has been caught out by Wukong, so he will drop to boot. Thompson still moving forward, and here comes Pure with all the babies surrounding Whisper immediately as he TP's in. With the Orchid out, Whisper cannot survive, but BZM might be able to find a trade of the Hurricane. No, it's not enough. The Whitemon's desperately trying to save his team with these Hurricanes with the Wild Ring Ripper, but his team just a bit too far forward. Is now Tomato going to rush in right after the champ, but the impale out from 9 Class going to put Tomato in a bit of danger. Tomato about to drop. Phantasm, not enough. OG, they need to escape now. Or do they? BZM, he still wants to move in, but Ramses has come back in with an arena that does nothing. Whoopsie daisies. Ramses, I'm not sure what that was about, but completely whiffs.
Bit of a big miss. They trade pretty big. They managed to take down Pure again, slowing down this Broodmother just a tad bit, but managed to find Whisper earlier on. You get the punishment onto Tomato. Tundra are still finding some important wins, especially for Thompson and catching up on this Snapfire. The Atos is just about to be finished up into the Gleipnir. A lot more damage and hold going to be kicking in for the Snap once that's done. The side of Tundra, it feels like they only need a couple more defensive items. They are still keeping track of Pure. Ari getting the vision down.
A lot of Atos out from Ari as well. Going to ensure Pure has nowhere to go, and Whisper really giving it to the Spider. Pure trying his best to juke this one out, but he is caught. And will go down. Another great kill here for OG. And that's what it's all about, right? Just keep shutting Pure down, and they just won't have a carry to rely on.
Yeah. No one else scales as hard outside of Thompson, but that takes his level 25 at best. Yeah, level 20 might feel okay, but the damage output just isn't amazing without that 25 talent for sure. So you need this Broodmother to really pick up the pace. And again, they've target prioritized on OG quite nicely. For Tundra, the issues we're seeing, 9 Class's presence has been felt with the Impales, but he's not able to really solo target pickoff. Dagon still a ways off in the recipe. Is scouting out nicely here at the least.
He certainly is. No sentries to scout out 9 classes. They are going to move in right onto Tomato. A perfect setup from 9 class into the kisses of Thompson. Tomato and Ari both gone. A perfect setup from 9 classes. He tips Seb. Oh, Seb wasn't even there. What's Seb do wrong? Oh, the runaway toss. Oh, never mind. Now I understand.
That's some great scouting. They managed to cut the tree right as they were trying to get the tree dance off with a Primal Spring. And then just the double stun into the kiss. A straightforward combo. Tundra keeping things spicy. It's been a back and forth blows here. OG, again, they're still having some good spikes on BZM. And, oh, really just him. Tomato slightly behind, but not too far off on the CK, going for his own Orchid pickup now. Does feel like the next defining moments when these BKBs start to flow in for both sides. If Tundra manages to find a quicker BKB timing on Pure, that's where things can get a lot rougher for OG. No hard control onto the Broodmother. Again, they can dispel off the Spiderlings with the split of Whisper, but the Broodmother itself is still going to be a bit of an issue with her damage output. We'll have to see if that's still manageable once that BKB is up. OG still playing on the offensive, looking to shove in that top tier 2. Are in position to force out a team fight. Tundra, they've got that blink on Ramses. They've got the arena ready to go. So they can't play. Kisses are still on cooldown for half a minute. That entire complement of team fight for Tundra not quite ready. But again, they've got some play opportunities if Ramses can kind of set up.
Moving in top lane. Pure is hanging about that creep wave right now. OG not going to try for the tier 2 tower as of yet, nor are they going to try for Pure's life. Tundra, they are grouped up bottom lane. Looks like they are thinking about that bottom tier 1 tower, though there is going to be a hook shot up from Seb onto 9 class, but Seb is the one getting caught out by the looks of it. Seb will go down. Whisper, he'll go into the primal split though onto 9 class, but they have they do have the vision. BZM will secure the kill. Is Whitemon now getting caught? That'll be another kill to come out here for OG. So Ari's searching for a little bit more, but nobody's left. It's a 2 for 1.
2 for 1, but popping Primal Split for 2 supports is a pretty big commitment out from OG. It doesn't cost Tundra much at all. Got some room to shove in top.
He just TP'd. Immediate cancel by Ari. And maybe now it'll seem a lot more worth it, John. They'll find the brew.
Yeah, now it's going to be worthwhile. They didn't even need the split. In the vision game the Monkey King provides can make it a little bit more awkward. Pure getting punished for being a little bit confident in trying that siege. And that makes it a lot better for OG. Maintaining, again, a very slight 1k lead. Just lagging behind in Tomato and Whisper's farm, but BZM is certainly starting to scale up now on that TA, rushing the BKB of his own instead of the full Deso. Understands damage is not going to be the issue. It's just trying to stand up and take these fights. Tundra, for their part, they've got the Dagon fully done on 9 class. Again, BKB being formed up by Ramses along with Pure. We'll go for a smoke play as 4. See if they can try to punish. Again, there is no split, but Roche is beginning here for the side of OG, and with a TA and a CK, even without the Desolator, it's not going to take too long to clear this out.
No, it is not. Roshan will be going quite freely as Ari does get caught, but that's about all they get. Roshan's still the much bigger objective to secure, and OG will be able to get away with it no problem. Because Tundra probably wouldn't have had much of a chance in trying to fight that Roshan, or rather counter out that Roshan play anyway. So the Tundra still infiltrating that dire jungle. Whisper going to be right around the corner. Does get caught here by a Cookie of Thompson. And Whisper now going down. That's a much bigger kill.
And it is, at least, that doesn't have split. Doesn't really have anything to do in the next 10 seconds. It's fairly short, but respawns are short as well. So they can still group around this power spike with the Aegis. Again, line this up into the BKB timing. Probably just wait that out. Use the Aegis to farm up into the BKB spikes first. Side of Tundra, their own BKBs are pretty much almost done. I believe you've got Pure getting his out first into the Yasha. Ramsey still 2 parts away. Still a ways off. You've got the Gleipnir up and running on Thompson, so that can help. Tomato's taking point here.
Well, they are going to find the CK.
Oh,
That is Tomato
what was
now
that?
down. That is problematic. Tomato already gone as Whisper was going to still try to move in and force a fight here with this primal split. Seb even going to hook shot in though. Seb might just get annihilated as BZM going to drop the boot for Whisper. Whisper's completely surrounded. He's lost all the Brewlings already. It's only the Storm Panda left. Meanwhile, BZM left behind Whisper and BZM both going down. Age is still up on BZM, but they are going to find the secondary life, no problem. No, I think Tomato was trying to bait as Ramsey's just smile again. I believe it was. Well, hold on a minute. What's JB mean? What does JB mean? Jebaited? Is that what it means? No, it can't. No, it's not jebaited. What's it mean?
I don't know. Again, we'll ask. We'll ask the boys from Tundra if they manage to make it through here. Still pure.
He's going to pop his BKB and go for the fight, but realizes he does need to back out of there. Ari's on the chase. Looks like Pure's going to be fine.
And again, to replay, you can see slow streaming in of that army out from Pure. The Wukong's really not much of a threat from support Monkey with the farm you currently have on Ari. So you don't mind playing that area whatsoever. Off the stems from that very far forward positioning of Tomato. Maybe he was expecting the hook shot earlier from Seb, but the follow through. The rest of OG wasn't ready for that kind of bait play. Tundra come out in top. 3K lead off the back of those chain of events here. We've almost got the full, I'm assuming a Manta or a Sanjin Yasha here for Pure, probably the SNY. They are getting some room to start to shove in. Top tier 2 under slight pressure. Tundra not really able to get their own map pressure out themselves. They haven't quite touched any tier 2s. Tier 1 still holds down bot as well. So the map, in terms of map control, OG are still feeling slightly better overall. But again, these power spikes that are lining up for Tundra with their own BKB timings. You're only lacking the recipe now for Ramses, just about 300 gold away. You've got the Hurricane Pike for Thompson to reposition in and out of these engagements. Again, you've got level spikes lining up, still a ways off from the 20, but even the 15 talent spike for Thompson feels pretty good. +2 load shredder attacks can be impactful in trying to get some procs off with a Gleipnir. And Pure. Power of this Broodmother with a BKB, it cannot be understated. Just how uncontestable it feels, even isolated away. He will smoke out on Tundra. Try to go hunting. The split is ready from Whisper if he manages to join on top of the smoke. And Tundra are looking southwards. BZM would be a nice pickoff if they flank into the Lotus Pool somehow.
We'll see if BZM does show on the map at all. He's going to just hang around the bottom side and go right through the twin gates. So it seems like he's well aware that something is happening.
Top tower is under attack.
So far, Tundra not able to find really anything with the smoke apart from maybe this bottom tier 1 tower, which Thompson will go ahead and take care of. They are going to find Seb by the looks of it. Seb hanging about, does go for the jetpack, but they will land the impale into the kisses, though Seb's still trying to get out, but is going to die. Pure will find him.
Takes a little bit longer, forces out the kisses. Not a bad spell to waste here for OG. They do manage to catch Ari out. It's only Thompson though.
Looks like he'll be just fine. The 1K advantage is still a very, very close matchup between these two sides. Now BZM has a BKB up on himself, and of course with that power spike OG, they will want to try and go for a smoke. Ramses showing in the mid lane would be a decent target to start, though keep in mind Ramses has his own BKB available. So if he gets that off in time, it could be a hard team fight as he does get it. Now the turnaround is here. Pure will rush towards Tomato, though they need some lockdown. Whitemon's been caught on the left side of the map, though. They will have to try and help him out. Whitemon will finally go down, but Ari looking to go down with him on the Monkey King does finally drop. Meanwhile, Ramses taking a fair bit of damage, but is going to be just fine. They do take down Seb instead. The chase is on for more. So they'll try to find Whisper. They do get him. The Primal Split will end. Whisper going to be caught. Meanwhile, BZM also being chased here by Ramses. Will go for the silencers out and does blink away. Whisper cannot do the same, however. Whisper is down. A 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Tundra once again.
It does cost them some BKB usages here, at least on Ramses. Didn't have to force out BZM zone BKBs, but again, you're finding the kills to kind of make this work well for Tundra, taking care of the core and 2 supports. You're again seeing the power of Pure. He didn't have to pop his own BKB either. Still at 8 seconds for the Broodmother. You're hitting the talent spikes for Tundra off of these kills. Level 15 talent for Thompson. Plus 2 little shutter attacks, gonna feel nice. You've got the Dagon and the Yule sub for 9 class, so you can kind of get some saves, get some setups. Chain control out for the team. Ari? Okay, just bouncing around as you do on the Monkey King, but I think for OG, feels like we need to get more gold onto Tomato. Like, yes, off this farm, BZM is nice. Tomato's not too far behind, but neither one are in a network advantage. You know, it's Pure that's still soaking up all of this farm across the map. It's Pure that's the #1 in net worth. Your TA, yeah, BKB Dragonlance Blink is nice. You don't have Deso. He was queuing up Daedalus. He's going for the Silver Edge instead to try to weave in and out a little bit safer in these fights. But that physical burst, that outright burst to take care of these softer targets, it's not really there. You have to commit one of your ultimates to really get that done.
Seb's going to be spotted out by a 9 class, perhaps. We'll get the jetpack off, and we'll continue to just run towards the left side of the map.
He's stuck.
Oh, he's stuck. Yeah, I mean,
He's protected by the tree.
Oh,
now
they've
he's
seen
not.
him. Okay, they know. They've got him. Lovely. I didn't know about that spot either, Seb, don't you worry.
Yeah, there's some really weird spots around the Rush Pits. The most infamous one is that staircase down bot by the gate, of course. I believe that's where Kingslayer, as he's known now, was trapped multiple times. Does happen.
Oh, good.
Tier 2 does fall up top. There's some funky stuff going on on those pit areas. Tier 2 falls. Pure already looking to shove in top as well. No worries here in the Broodmother. We'll force out the Fortify very early on. And there's really no massive commitment here, although 9 class. Ah, he's fine.
It's kind of crazy to think, like, Tundra only have a 3k advantage, and OG have been running at them, like, non-stop for the past 26 minutes. And it's still Tundra that are trying to go high ground already. Like, it's just the strength of the Brood, right? Like, this hero is just way too broken. Especially with this facet. Like, the rate at which these T3 towers will go down with a Spiderling army is just way too much, as we are having a smoke-on-smoke scenario.
It's a good scan.
A scan is out on OG. They know exactly where they are. Seb's going to be scouted already. 9 class to move in.
Oh.
They've caught Tomato on the CK. Tomato, he might be going down, and he has. Already the POS1 CK is gone. And Tundra, they can make the choice to... In fact, never mind. Roshan's not even up. There's no choice. It's up to high ground. If they want to, that is.
You don't have this... You don't have the big CK to worry about. You do still have split on Whisper. You do still have this BKB on BZM ready. He is going for the MKB to preempt this butterfly pickup from Pure and to just bypass the mischance, of course, on the incapacitated fight. But you're still in a really good spot again for Tundra. I mean, this threat into the high ground. Fortify's down. Big Spiderling armies there. BZM's still being tracked. It's going to be able to blink out in time, but the threat, you can't leave this lane alone. If you allow Pure to just shove in, that tower just falls.
It sure does. That's a lot of spiders. He will back off for now. Tundra will remain with a 5k advantage, but it feels like with the lead they have now in this game, they will just kind of play a little bit more slowly, and no need to rush at this stage anyway. Just such a confident lead now being held here by Tundra. Because they will wait for the Roshan, and it is now officially available. Apparently we have 100 spiders that have been killed as of late. In my experience, John, that is a very low number, I gotta tell you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's nothing to Australian numbers. It's too little. That's not an eradication just yet. Have you seen the pictures? Has any of that ever happened again? All those massive webs from the rains?
I don't know.
Is it still coming?
I hope I never have
It's
to
coming.
down. Bottom lane. They're flying from somewhere, John. They're covered in. Bottom lane. Big group up. OG, they've got to be very cautious here. They're up against the Aegis T's now of Tundra.
Oh.
They are going to find 9 class of the Nyx Assassin. It's a nice little freebie here thanks to Seb. Actually takes them quite a bit of time here to take down 9 class, but they'll finally get it as Ram's going to pause the game. Lag issue apparently. So we get to see
Okay.
Nine Class in a very awkward situation.
Yeah, there's a side blade coming in. And honestly, for 9 class, they commit hookshot, not the longest cooldown, but they pop this amp damage rune on BZM. That's already a bit of a win for this Nyx. Just forcing out at least one piece of utility, as it was 9 class lagging as well, so he will reconnect.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
I believe you.
just
I believe you,
reconnect
9
his
Class.
dad.
Don't worry. That's what my that's what the enemies in my pub say every time as well, John. They were just lagging. It's all right, 9 Class. It's fine. Here we are.
Yeah,
Quick
let's
reconnection.
see.
We're going to see a highlight of the previous team fights, I do believe. And props to OG. Like for most of the game, they were in front. It felt like they just could not lose a fight, but you just saw the recent fight really not panning out in their favor, and just leading straight to the Roshan pit does not help their cause at all.
No, it doesn't. It feels like the initiation angles are all on Tundra. They're the ones managing to get the jump in these big cores first. OG, it feels like they need to open up these fights with Ari's vision and then like hook shots from Seb, and then collapse onto these targets. It's easier said than done. Feels like Tundra have had a very good understanding of where Ari's standing. Like, look at this. They get the jump in, they lock in Tomato first, and suddenly BZM just can't follow through. It's Tundra that's always forcing these fights, the bigger 5v5s, in their favor quite nicely. With how they're positioning, with how they're working out these angles for the engagements. For OG, the angles are just more limited. It's either you start off, okay, a few options. Vision out from Ari with a jump in, flare into hookshot, and, you know, playing off with a split afterwards, or using the traps to start with a shard on BZM. But, again, the opportunities aren't being shown. Look how much vision's on the map from Tundra. All these sentries around the Roche pit up top, clearing out any sort of wards, clearing out the traps, ensuring again that you can't start off with an early BKB force on that psionic trap shard. It just makes it hard for OG. It's much simpler for Tundra. They just blink forward, burst someone down, and just run from there. OG, they just don't feel prepared. And when they do find pickoffs in OG, the follow-up teamfight still tends to go Tundra's way. With Arena with Kisses, your teamfight control on OG is just lackluster. You've got Wukongs for area denial. You've got the split to isolate like 2 heroes with your stun and Cyclone. And that's it. Beyond that, like, you have no way of forcing a fight around an area that you heavily control. Maybe you could count cogs, but it doesn't feel that relevant right now.
It does not. We do have both plays back in the game. Both Pure and 9 Class have reconnected. Ramsey says RD. There we go. Happy to go now as Seb gives the go-ahead. 9 Class, of course, will die down at the bottom lane. In case that was not obvious. And we are going to have a quick pause out again. Wonder what the issue is this time.
We'll find out sooner or later.
Pure's having problems.
What? All right. Yeah, just sort it out, whatever it may be. White one just sitting there with his haircut.
Turn the other stream off, Pure. Yeah, that's what's making the internet lag. Come on now.
Hey! Well, it's not too soon. It's been a year, so that's fine.
Oh, even if it wasn't a year, John, it was never too soon. Can't make mistakes like that and expect any sympathy. Is 9 Class now going to disconnect as well? I think these pauses must really suck during pro games. Like, you feel the momentum going your way, and now you get the pause for 5 minutes, and you forget exactly where everyone was and what you were doing. And I guess in some sense it might favor OG more, considering Tundra are certainly the team that are in the lead right now. You know, that momentum kind of breaking, I guess. Maybe?
Yeah. Could be. And you and I have seen these pauses many times, Mikey. Used to happen so much more frequently in Southeast Asia. You'd have them go for 40 minutes, then you'd have March say go. And it's like, yeah, well, they've given 40 minutes past pause time. I remember that qualifier. That was really rough. Very unfortunate. I think it was Signal Ultra, if I recall right. But,
yes.
You know, it is. You remember that? Yeah, that was a big qualifier. That was like the finals. Signal Ultra managed to climb all the way. And it was like a game 3. They lost the first 2 games. It looked like they could have come back in that game 3, but they disconnect for 40 minutes. Almost an R, actually, I do believe. I don't know how we filled an R, looking back. but we find ways, Mike. We find
We
ways.
did find a way. Well, great times. Shout out to Sigma Ultra. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but shout
No,
out to
they
them.
do not.
Okay. Well, that's great. Very uplifting news to hear, John. Thank you for that.
Oh, look at those spiders. Australian spiders aren't that adorable, are they?
No, they're not, John. No, they're not. These are very cute ones, I must admit. Spiders will be
Were the
coming
ones
back
in your
soon
router
Australia.
this cute?
No, they weren't. No, they were not.
They're coming back?
They're coming
What's
back.
the
John.
occasion? Why are they coming back?
We're in winter right now, Jonathan, so they're hibernating at the moment, but I promise you in a couple months they'll be back. No problem.
Beautiful. What's your favorite spider, Mikey? What are you most fond of? Do you enjoy seeing a red pack because you're a sicko? You
I
like the huntsmans?
I actually don't mind the daddy longleg because it's all they do is sit there and eat bugs. They you can literally just keep them in your house to just sit there and eat like any flies that come by. They're actually very handy, and then they can't hurt you. Like they don't hurt you at all. So I just leave them there on purpose. They're very nice.
Yeah, I don't know if they even. I remember technically they aren't spiders. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I remember reading that on Reddit. I think they are. I do agree they are, but I remember someone getting technical somewhere, some nerd saying they're not actually spiders. I don't know. And daddy longlegs is like, it can refer to a lot of different spiders as well, but they are nice. They're kind of freaky, aren't they? It's just like you only really see like a circle in their legs.
No, they're not. They're not
I mean,
that bad.
they're kind of cute in a way, I guess. I mean, there was the spider that was hanging in our clothesline for like last year when we left for Romania to do the DPC. When I came back, my sister kept sending me pictures of this spider in a clothesline, right? And it was a huge spider. It would never move. We'd never see anything spun up in its web. So we're like, is this dead? But it would move occasionally enough that you'd tell it was live. It's like, it was just freakishly big. I think eventually a bird ate it. So, that's my big spider experience, Mikey. We don't have like massive spiders, at least none that I've seen. Maybe there's one right now. They're sneaky, but we don't get that many massive spiders. Like we don't have anything like the huntsman. That thing's freaky. I mean, I hear they're friendly. They're friendly, right?
I'm sure people are going to love this conversation. We have 35,000 people watching here with me. We're going to have a very, very big pause between Tundra and OG. We will update you, of course, as soon as the game has begun, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. We're not going to sit here talking crap while the game's happening. Sadly, we do not have reconnections for 9 class or pure quite yet. So chances are this connection could last a while. I don't know. But we're experts in this kind of field, Jonathan. This is where we really shine. We're not even casters. We're just podcasters at this point, John. That's what we do now.
That we are. Another episode of the John X Mike podcast. Welcome back, Michael Phoenix. It's been a week since we came together for the podcast. How are you doing?
Been pretty sick, Jonathan. Not been the best. How you doing, sir?
Doing all right. Well, it's nice. It's been nice and rainy. We've had a low pressure area coming up in Davao, so it's nice. It's a little bit cooler, Mikey. It's maybe not so nice if it starts flooding, but that's just a byproduct of it. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But it's been a cool season in the Philippines, Mikey. You know how warm it gets here.
Yeah. This is the part where people in chat start asking if you're actually Filipino. Like, well, why does he live in the Philippines? Or why does this American guy live in the Philippines? Is rather probably what's going to be asked now in the Twitch chat. So we're having with the players once again. Sadly, the players have nothing to do but just talk to each other for now. What can you do? Again, I do wonder how this momentum shift is going to work for either side, right? Because it's like, well, this looks like it's going to be a long one, right? I don't think this is going to be one of those, 10-minute pauses. It does seem like it might be a while till we get back.
I'm pretty sure we've gone past 10 minutes at this point.
Have we already?
Looks like some sort of technical. It feels like it. Okay, maybe 5 minutes. I don't know. Like, none of our admins are talking, so we haven't crossed any threshold, but it does look like a technical thing that the admin team on hand are working on. So we shall see. Speaking of chat, I've seen a lot of people spamming drop. Don't forget to spam !drop for your chance at the giveaways. There's a lot of big bundles being given away here. So I don't know. This is probably not the time to drop, but I'm just telling you. I've seen you guys spam it. Keep it up. Keep it up. You want those immortals. You want that. What's it called? The dragon claw hook, whatever it is. You want it. You need it.
Aren't they aren't they literally meant to spam it once they're told to spam it, though, John? Like, aren't you literally creating problems for the guy that has to deal with these now? Hold on a minute. Seb's asking what's up. Hold on, John. Someone important's talking. You just watch your damn mouth. Seb's asking, is it an internet issue? Admin Seb, here we go.
All right.
The Frenchman is
Whitemon
not
says
happy.
yes. Get the update. Whitemon says it is an internet issue.
Lovely.
And then Ari says he's on his way. You'll sort it out. You'll cross. No, you won't. But yeah.
Oh, it looks like we are going to have a break. We'll go to a break. We'll be right back here with Game 2 between Tundra and OG.
If all they've been saying is true, there's a wall before your eyes. Tell me, can you see right through? Right through, right through. Down through the wires and the pipelines. We go disconnecting from the city and the skyline. Counting up coins for a soda can. And there's nothing going on, no game plan, no plans. So I'm jumping out the fire, back into the frying pan. I'm trying to disconnect from the stats and the spray tans. Just another piece of data. Life without reason is no life at all. We are taking over. We can change it all. 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 This is the moment.
Tundra, a once TI-winning organisation, spent most of 2023 slowly drifting towards becoming a shell of its former self. Late last year, after a disappointing ESL One Kuala Lumpur, they decided to almost fully rebuild the roster, keeping only Topson, who was also relatively fresh to the team. Around him, they picked up pure 9-class Whitemon and have played with several different offlaners to fill the last spot, Ramses 666 being the last addition to the team. Things look better, albeit only very slightly better. Dream League Season 22 ended with a rough 10th place, but heading into ESL 1 Birmingham, something happened. Despite Toby standing in as their offlaner, they smashed through the group stage and even beat Falcons in the first round of playoffs, before losing to BB Team in the upper bracket and then getting knocked out from the lower bracket by the team they themselves put in the lower bracket, Team Falcons. The last EPT event of the season, Dream League Season 23, was Ramses 666's first event with the team. They showed up, but got bested by the eventual second and third place teams, Gaming Gladiators and BB Team, to finish at 5th place. Despite having only played 3 EPT events with this roster, Tundra managed to secure enough EPT points from Birmingham to secure an invite to Riyadh Masters. Maybe now that they've gotten some more experience playing together, they will really show their best selves at Riyadh Masters. OG is a team that has really done it all, from winning TI to not managing to qualify for events. As an organisation, they've achieved incredible success, while also at times struggling massively. Their roster has been similarly turbulent, but recently they seem to have stabilised with a refreshed roster that's making OG look stronger than they have been in a long time. They've got Tomato, BZM, Whisper, Ari and Seb. With an interesting mix of South America and Europe, OG has a very unique playstyle. In the last year and the last EPT season, OG has looked like a force to be reckoned with. When they look good, they look really good. The EPT season for OG started with Dream League Season 21, ending up with a 4th place. Sadly, it instantly went downhill and they failed to qualify for ESL 1 Kuala Lumpur, missing out on tons of EPT points. Dream League Season 22 also didn't go as well as they'd hoped, ending up finishing 6th. After Dream League 22, OG failed to qualify for both ESL 1 Birmingham and Dream League Season 23. OG's chances to secure a direct invite to Riyadh Masters looked slim. Miraculously, due to another team having visa issues, OG secured a last-second invite to ESL 1 Birmingham to fill their spot. This was the chance they needed, and they really made the best of it. With a very good run through the tournament, OG finished at 4th place, barely securing them enough points for a direct invite to Riyadh Masters. OG had made it, somehow. Let's see if they can show that they are one of the best teams in the world here at Riyadh Masters.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Riyadh Masters. We are finally back here for this game number 2 between Tundra Esports and OG Esports. And there we go, Jonathan. We are now officially unpaused. We can bring the game back on the screen. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody. I'm sure it was a daunting wait, but we are here now. Patience is paid off.
That we are. It has paid off, Mikey, and like you were saying, maybe some of that tempo Tundra had taken away from that pause. We did have a lot of questions in the chat as well. Seb was mainly talking to himself, as old people do, asking what JB was, never got a reply. So, you know, maybe down the line, it's up to us to find out if Tundra, again, managed to get the 2-0. Of course, OG wants to drag it out into that third game. And they did manage to find that kill on 9 class earlier, but the Aegis control is on the side of Tundra. Just to refresh everyone, full Butterfly up now as well on good old Pure, going into that full Blood Torn. So everything's starting to line up in a nice way, but the lead hasn't been massive. A 3k lead 30 minutes in, not really significant any which way here for Tundra or OG to be behind on or ahead from. So again, there's a lot of play opportunities yet for both sides. Still have the build-up full. MKB up for BZM. So the evasion, the mischance, not going to be concerning coming out from Pure any longer. You've got the BKB being lined up for here by Thompson. You've got Ari with his Gleipnir into his own BKB build-up. Wants the Unwavering Condition or Force Boots, as he's queued them up as well on his wish list.
Very
there you
nice.
go. Good to stay positive, Ari. It's still 30 minutes away until that point. Ari, you know, I mean, it feels like longer because of the pause, but Ari, come on. Don't cue that up.
Not yet. No, maybe Ari's sending us a message, Jonathan. Maybe he's letting us know that this game is not going to be ending anytime soon. It wouldn't be, you know, out of the ordinary for us. That's for sure. If this game went on for another 30, 40 minutes, it would be pretty on par with what we're used to here. Tundra, bit of a group up, it seems. It doesn't seem like they're too interested in trying to force any fights. They might want to sort out Ari, though. Ari is being a real nuisance here, just constantly creep skipping on the Monkey King. But it seems like they won't even bother trying to catch Ari, as of course he's just going to keep tree dancing as much as humanly possible. 9 class will spot him out, but again, you just can't catch the MK. Or can you, Thompson? Do you see him? They saw him, but they can't catch him.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You gotta love the Monkey King. Stalling out, keeping creep wave in push. Just gonna run away again. And yeah, it's causing so much. They do manage to catch him now.
They have got him this. No, they don't. No, they do not. Nobody can chop the tree, apparently. How great's that?
Amazing. And just keeping that bot wave in check. Whisper looking for anyone to chase.
9 class saw him. Oh, he misses the impale. Unfortunate. Oh, he got the Yules.
Got the Yules.
He got the Yules off 9 class.
Mid-air.
Eventually it pays off. Ari, he's going to pop the Wukongs. Whisper's going to move in anyway. And Ari is still not going to die, but now Whisper's been caught out. Oh, Ari, have you debated your own team, sir? Whisper, how you find your way out of this one? I mean, he had the primal split, but he won't bother popping it. Oh, at least Ari's out of there, I guess.
Yeah, he gets the bail. Watches his teammate die, but they've bought the space, right? Like, this is Aegis for Tundra that they're not sieging onto tier 2s. Ari?
Or Seb, rather. Seb now being caught mid lane, but he's okay as Ramsey's not going to land the spear. The jetpack will allow Seb to get out for now, but not for long, as 9 class is going to catch him out.
Yeah, so they find their openings on Tundra. 2 heroes down, respawn's fairly short. They can try to commit for, I suppose, maybe the last outer tower that Pure's already starting to work on. Again, with that full feeding frenzy, Spiderling's not going to take too long to mount this objective. Tomato not going to be able to contest just yet. Secondary life on Pure still up there only for a few more seconds. So Aegis is about to expire at the very least. But again, the siege, it doesn't take too long once you fully commit in that Brood Mother.
Still got D3 tower. I glyphed up, but it's already gone. Like, it's just as good as gone. This hero is too much. This hero is just too much. Look at Whisper! As long as that insatiable hunger's going with these Spiderlings, it's just too much damage.
It's way too much. Gone again on the Brewmaster, high ground siege still continuing, although
Hooks on the tops, and the tops has got a BKB up, so we'll go for the fight. Cheats the cheese as well, so they can't really kill him off. Fuel's going to move in, look for Tomato on the CK. Tomato not going to get killed off, though. Here comes Ramses now with the arena down, forcing more BKBs out from OG. As they will retreat, but the mid-racks, or rather bot-racks, is already gone. Ari setting up for a boundless strike onto 9 class, but they had no sentries down to really go on him. So Tundra, they get everyone out of there, basically. Even moving on to the Tormentor, but realizing they probably will kill their own teammates.
yeah, don't fully commit with 9 class around. Just back off. Just the melee racks taken, range racks still up, but not the most meaningful racks to leave alone. So Tundra now with a 7k lead. Aegis has expired. Next Roche still in about a minute 40 when we'll see that respawn timer. OG, they've shown their hand a little bit coming in, right? They popped their BKBs on BZM down to 8. Showed the Daedalus, showed full MKB on this TA. We'll see if Tundra can kind of play around these item spikes BZM has found for himself. They also had to commit the buyback on Ari. So if this Monkey King gets caught off guard, you don't have to deal with the split push or the vision game that OG can work for themselves here as they go for a smoke on smoke now.
Well, Seb might be in position to break a very nice smoke though. 9 class going to move in. Does have the Vendetta. Hasn't popped it yet though, so he will be scouted out. Hawk is out. Seb, he's caught 3 targets with that Cogs, but there's no follow-up to it. In fact, BZM's the one to go down. BZM will drop first. Seb with what looked like a very good setup, but the team was not ready for it. BZM, he's down for 70 plus seconds. And 9 class, he has not stopped with the voice line spam.
No, he hasn't. At least again, Ari can try to cut down creep waves, slow down this push, but the armor is set on mid with Thompson and Whitemon and all of his summons. Pure still working the map just a little bit more. Very big kill. BKB was on cooldown for BZM when they forced that jump. It's rather unfortunate. You did manage to stun Ramses as he blinks forward while the clockwork was flying out. Still not enough to really stop that spear out. BZM again opted to play into that as they still catch out Ari while they push out as well.
That'll be Ari gone. Onto the mid-rack still go, Tundra. It's just so fast, man. It's not fair. That was without Spiderlings as well. Just the racks getting taken out completely by Pure. That tier 3 tower now under siege. Pure just... Like, this is without insatiable hunger now from Pure. So these Raxes are absolutely annihilated. On OG's end of things, there's just no defending without BZM. Tomato trying to get away. Thompson will move in. They'll just focus down the racks again, secure those mega creeps. Even through the backdoor protection, there's nothing they can do. Like, he's hitting for 300 per right click without the insatiable hunger popped.
Yep.
Here we go. Arena down. He's caught Tomato. The CK already about to drop and is down.
No buyback.
No buyback available. Whispers jumped in. Whispers Brewlings though getting destroyed by the side of Tundra. They're going to find Seb. Poor old Seb. Look at a drop. Cookie will land. Seb is gone. Ramses to take that one. Rushing into the fountain they are now. They would not go that far. But they're on the tier 4 towers. Seb, hookshot in again. Cogs are out. They'll try and lock a couple down and try to defend this Ancient, but how do you do it? It's not looking too good. Pure on a Whisper will take down the Brewmaster by the looks of it. He's gone. They'll buy back on Whisper. Seb going down in the meantime. He will drop to boot. They'll try to chase 9 class, but Pure, he's the big problem. BZM is down. Whisper will die back, and GG is called. A 2-0 victory here for Tundra. And they will proceed through to the upper bracket. Semi-final. 9 class will have the final word.
That you will. You saw the expressions out there